Good morning. First of all, I said that I would make a video in response to a video that was made by my oldest daughter. But before I go there, let me first start just with a short prayer, because God has heard my voice many a times, and He knows that I believe in Him. He knows that I already know He got it worked out. It doesn't bother me. Heavenly Father, thank you. Thank you for how this has turned out. What better person to pick to have me to go through this? I accept the challenge. You know I know you. You know that I'm not afraid to go through the fire, because I already know how I'll come out. Victory, victory, victory. All I'm doing is parenting, Lord. That's all I'm doing is parenting. And there's so many more that is doing exactly that, parenting the best way that they know how. So I just ask you, Lord, keep your hand on me. Keep your hand on the people who are out here going through this same struggle. And some of them are embarrassed to go public about what they're going through. It's not my story to tell or names to put out there. But know that I'm asking all prayer warriors to continue to do what they do. In your name I pray, Lord. You know, I know what you can do. First of all, thank you to all the ones that considered to go onto the battlefield with me and to pray. To pray about my family situation, to pray for strength for me, to the ones that sent me the beautiful, beautiful flowers. I thank you, Lord. I thank you, I thank you, I thank you. The roses, they were beautiful. The forever roses, forever beautiful. The person that sent me the Queen shirt, I thank you. And for the ones who probably thought, she may not be eating, thank you for the gift card. I enjoyed it and told them sub sandwiches up. Subway is what the gift card that they sent me. Thank you. Let me first say that I'm just a parent, just out here parenting. I cannot tell you that I've always got it right. But what I can tell you, I have no fear in going through the struggle. See, because long time ago, upon my husband's death, his departure from this earth, I was left to raise two kids, young babies, third grader and a fifth grader. And when I say my husband died and left nothing for me or for his children, that's a whole nother story. I knew that I had to get up and get to getting it. I knew that I had to raise these kids. And people that know me and know the story, they know that I got put out of a super large home. But God put me back in it. And when He put me back in it, He told me that I would not have to worry about it, that I would stay in my home. I would stay in my home. He said, I give you a few things to do. And if you do them, I'll keep my word. And God kept his word. God kept his word. I was not the easiest mom. I might have been the mom that had the most fun, but I was not an easy mom. Not just on my children, on any of the children that came around me that was in this home or came to visit, or I took them in the green van. They all knew, Miss Simone, stand on business, and you're going to be the best that you can be. And I push for the best of all of them. And if I start calling names right now, all of them can stand on some type of business and say that they're doctors, they're lawyers, they're top business people, executives, computer scientists, real estate people. People know what I did. And no, I was not an easy parent to my girls. Never abusive, but always letting them know that I expected the best out of them. And guess what? They gave me the best. They gave me the best. Now, I'm going to defend my family. My daughter talked about narcissistic family members and abuse. I have no idea where she's coming from with that. But I know that my daughter sat in the back of a car, and I'm not saying this to embarrass my daughter, in the back of the car, looking as if she had just robbed Wells Fargo Bank. A hat pulled down on her face, thin to death, repeating something that I later went to somebody's page and found out that they're pushing that narrative. Narcissistic. Not one moral that I know is that. My family is the family that stood with me when my children lost their parent. It's not an event that my parents did not try to assist with. And somebody gonna say narcissistic people, family, I don't know who go all the way from your freshman year to your doctoral with making sure that you had somewhere to lay your head, pushing for you to become the doctor that you are today. It's people in my parents' neighborhood, in my old neighborhood, they'll tell you that's a lie. If you can't call nobody, you can call the Morrows. When I did my dad's eulogy, I told everybody in the audience, if y'all just come on up and give the money that my dad had loaned to you, that'll put my mama back on high. So there's no narcissistic morals. Even now, if a situation hop off in EUH, y'all know what I'm talking about. One of the first names they're going to call is the Morrows. What the Morrows can do. And my sister, narcissistic, please My sister will give you her shoes, her shirt, and a weed if you needed it. So I can't go with that. My daughter even spoke about a fight that took place at the Atlanta beach. It did not. It did not. I promise you, if it had been a fight at Atlanta Beach in the summer, in July, some folks would have had to get me out of jail. That did not happen. But when you're up under the leadership of the occult, and they put this stuff in your mind, and they make you think that this is right, what you're saying. Anybody that knows my daughter knows my daughter looked confused and sick in that car. Now, what it's about is really about my daughter making a choice about a religion. I cannot pick anybody's religion. I can take you when you're small to what I believe is the correct religion, church, scriptures. I can do that. But once you get grown and you make a decision that you don't want to believe the doctrine that you were taught as a child, and because you are 30 years old, there is nothing that I can do. I can keep talking to you and tell you you're on the wrong track. You're going wrong. I did not know that my daughter had got tied up with these people. But once I find out, and I'm giving you the short of the story, that she had got tied up with these people, and I had very little contact with her. I had no understanding of why she wasn't coming home for any type of holidays. And then when she did come home, she brought some of those people with her. And they were the strangest young people I had come across. They all looked secretly and whispered and just lacking communication. I just had an uncomfortableness letting them come to my home. And they did stay about 3 days because they wanted to see Atlanta. And I allowed them to stay. I even took them all around so that they could see Atlanta. But I did not know who these people were. My daughter began to have problems on whatever job that she had gone on. And then for a minute, I just did not hear from my daughter. Or if I called her, she was always in a rush. I got to go to church. I'll call you back, Mom. And on one occasion, I was talking to my daughter about some business, and some young man came in and said, "Nundy, get off that phone." And I said to my daughter, "Get off that phone? Who is that? Who is that?" I'm telling you exactly what I said. I said, "Who is that?" And my daughter said, "Don't worry about it, Mama." I said, "Who was that?" She said, "Go ahead." So I was continuing to talk about what I was talking about. The young male voice came back in and said, "Nundy, get off that phone." It did not sit well with Miss Simone. Not one bit did it sit well with me. So because it did not sit well with me, I said, I'm going to tell you just what I said. Put that Negro on the phone. I'm your mama. Put him on the phone. I said, who is he talking to? And are you on his phone or your phone? What's going on here? I did not like it. And my daughter would not put him on the phone. My daughter, I assume, left and went and got in her car. And she was talking to me in the car. And then I heard that same Negro tapping on the window. And he said, you need to get off the phone. At that point, Miss Simone was livid. Y'all already know. Y'all already know what I was getting ready to put down on his behalf. I told my daughter, you put him on the phone right now. I'm not playing. I will be in my car on my way down there, and me and him gonna square up. We're going to square up. I mean exactly what I said. And let me just say this. She would not put him on the phone. She then told me, Mama, I got to go. I got a meeting I got to go to. I did not like it. I did not like the environment. I did not like someone telling her what to do. I was concerned, but I did not hear from my daughter. And it was sporadically that I did not hear from her. The only way that I found out that my daughter was out here just doing whatever is her apartment complex called. And she had not paid the rent. And there was no reason for her not to pay the rent because she had a very lucrative job. I could not understand it. Did not understand where she was. And when I did talk to her, it was stuff that I just couldn't piece together. What's going on? What do you got? What kind of financial problem you got? I don't even understand that with the amount of money that you're making. You're a full-fledged doctor. So I don't understand that. And I didn't understand it. And let me be honest with you, Facebook or TikTok or YouTube. My daughter disconnected for me for almost 2 years. Just small amount of contact. The next time that I knew anything that was going on with my daughter, someone called me and said that my daughter had denounced Delta Sigma Theta. And I had never heard her say to me that that's what she was going to do. And she never to this day has said to me that that was what she was going to do. But let me say this and be very clear about it. My daughter was grown. Her experience in Delta was not my experience in Delta. And if that's what she wants to do, that's what she wanted to do. Had nothing to do with me. I can't live nobody's Delta Greek D9 life. I can only live mine. And what was good for me was good for me, and then sometimes it wasn't that good. That's with any organization that you get into. And no, I have never worshiped anything but God. And when I got on my knees and signed to be a part of the sorority, the paper that I signed, it asked me to do the greatest that the Lord had asked us to do. And I try to do that every day. No symbols really taught me that. And I wear my symbols proudly. And I serve proudly. And I don't need Delta to do what I do, because half the stuff I do, I don't have a crowd with me. Now, let me move on from Delta, because this is not even about her denouncing Delta. That was her choice. She grown. She grown. But my daughter, after almost maybe close to 2 years, but it was like a year and something, of not hearing from her, not knowing where she was or nothing, showed back up one day. She just showed up out of the blue. And that's a story within itself. And when I tell you my daughter showed up with nothing, nothing, a brand new car with 40 plus thousand miles on it. So I can't even tell you everywhere she been. A brand new car, the whole side with a big swipe. Couldn't understand why the car looked like that. And you got insurance. Why didn't you go and get the insurance company to fix it? But I felt like the prodigal father. My daughter came home. I accepted her. My family accepted her back. It was nothing that if she asked for it, my family, especially my sister and my mama, we tried to do the best that we could. I knew that my daughter had been brainwashed, and I needed to get her straight. And we worked with my daughter to CR, you know who I'm talking about, and your mom. Lord knows I thank y'all, because y'all stood on the word with me. Y'all cast out demons with me. Y'all pulled down strong arms with me. My brother Zach, who they say you don't go to church, but I guarantee you, he stood like he had been to all the churches and helped me to pull them demons up off my daughter. All the people that knew and know about what she was going through and stood in the gap, and we prayed those demons up off my daughter. And I got her back here to Atlanta, where we were constantly still monitoring and working with her. Most of you know that y'all saw her at various functions with me. You saw her working. Because my kids have always been raised, you got to serve. They've been serving since they came out the womb. We've been feeding the homeless. We've been doing the Christmas. We did the Operation Christmas so big until Billy Graham's son personally sent us a letter and a phone call to say just 3 people, a woman and 2 little kids, got this many gift boxes up. The people had to come here with a truck to get the gift boxes, Operation Christmas, to take all over the world. So my girls been serving. They don't know nothing to do but to serve. And y'all know when my daughter got back here, she was working. I was getting her prepared to go back into the workforce and earn the type of money that she was supposed to be earning. Always knowing that she was fragile, extremely fragile. And one of the things that she took in great pride was to help my next door neighbor. She took pride in doing that. She loved my next door neighbor. I ain't going to go all the way into that because it's probably going to be a part 2, 3, 4, and 5. My daughter and myself, before my daughter got here, we did more for my next door neighbor than even her children did. And I'll put it on, I'll stand on business that we did it. We walked her all the way to the grave. We took care of my next door neighbor. And I guarantee you, you can go up to the hospital and see our names down there more than even her children or grandchildren. And I'm thinking that we've gotten my daughter, out of the occult. And we're out of the occult. And to be out of the occult, it was a issue. We were making progress. But to not make progress is good. It was not good. Because what I found out, that my neighbor's daughter was also tied up in those same occultic people. And while I was undoing or trying to braid my daughter back into life, she was unbraiding, back pushing that same doctrine. And I did not know it. But she was sneaky and conning with it. It's more that I want to say about it. But I'm probably gonna have to do more. Because no matter how the bolo got out, and I do know who put the bolo out, and I will speak about the bolo. It does not matter how that came about. God meant it for a purpose. And I see now, God, why you meant for somebody to put a missing person out on Monday. Because my phone got to jumping. And there's so many parents that's out here fighting the same fight that their daughters and their sons have got caught up with these people. And they got the same stuff going on. Most of them attended a HBCU. Most now, not all. Most of them attended a HBCU. And they're out there on that campus looking for the weak and praying on them. And praying on them. And looking to get their minds and mess them up. I had people that called me that before they could finish telling me their story, I could tell them everything that was going on. People who daughters, RNs, computer scientists, doctors, people with their masters, accountants, that got tied up with these folks. And them people are trying to rescue their children. They're trying to rescue them. They're trying to do what they can to save their children. And they know the same thing that I know, that their children are brainwashed. They don't even know who their children are. If you will allow me, because I said I would not make this more than 30 minutes, I will come back and I will express to you who these people are, what they're to look for, what the college campus need to be aware of. These people are cultish. Even your Whitney Houstons and Bobby Browns, believe it or not, they were tied up with them. They were tied up with them too. A bunch of foolishness. And these people think that they are Hebrews. They think that they are part of the 12 tribes of Israel. They do not believe that Jesus Christ was born of a Virgin Mary. They do not think that he was Son of God. They only believe that he was just mere man like all of us and a prophet. Their MO is to find somebody that got potential to make money, come into their organization, and that's the person that can go to work, bring all of their money, to the commune and support that. And what they do, they give them just enough money to go back and forth to work for those that they let work. They got a good game going on. And it's my job to disclose who they are, what they are. Trust me, I'll be back. For those of you who have stayed to the end, thank you. I'm coming back with part 2. Thank you.